Hello, my name is Ronald. I am not a social worker. I do not work for the government. I do not even work in the medical field. All I am is an individual that is very, very, very worried about the realities of what is happening in white South Africa. These photos that I used in this footage was either taken by myself or friends or other people that feel the same way as I do. And in visiting the squatter camps, we have found appalling situations. Why did I start doing this? I don't have money to spend on people, and I was looking for somewhere to spend it. I am just a very average middle-class lady, a single mom working a day job and trying to make ends meet. And we are so easily caught in the trap of complaining about what we don't have. Then about 2 years ago, I found a letter written by a lady from within a squatter's camp. This lady was telling us how she spent the morning helping her friend bury her 2-year-old child in the squatter's camp on some area that they use as a burial ground, because this child died from cold exposure and from hunger. And I started in my search to find out what is really happening in South Africa, what is happening to the people around me. We so easily just go to work, come home, sort out your own problems, take care of your own children, and you don't see what is happening out there. And the more I was looking for the answers, and I suppose I was looking for this woman that wrote this, I found the most horrific situations all over. I have found out that 1 million, that is 1/4 of the South African white population, now are homeless, jobless, have got nowhere to go. That is scary. That is really, really scary to think that 25% of my people are just forgotten in squatter camps. They have nowhere else to go. By the time they reach a squatter camp, they have tried all the normal means one would suspect them to try. They've tried family and friends. They've tried finding other work. They've tried their church. They've tried the government avenues of government grants, aids. Those things don't happen if you're white in South Africa. You just don't get them. There is no option for you. There is no alternative. If you do not have private people take care of you, you're lost. And yes, there is one thing that you would see in, I think, just about every single one of these photos. The forlorn, lost look in the faces of those people. They've given up. They've given up trying. They've given up dreaming. I think it was Charles Dickens that wrote, "Take away a man's dreams and you take away his life." Those people have lost their dreams. I want to tell you about this letter because it is unfortunately in Afrikaans, which is my home language, so I cannot just read it to you, but I can tell you what it's about. It's about the sadness of this woman helping her to bury her child, wondering when she's going to be next. When next is it going to be her turn to bury one of her children because of this? Telling us how at night sometimes she doesn't have food to give to her children, and she just cooks a pot of water on the little primus stove till her children fall asleep, because they fall asleep thinking that mommy is busy making dinner and that they will eat tonight. That is so sad, but it's real. It is really real out there. The South African children are starving. They are dying. You will see in some of the photos, there is, I think there's one photo I'm holding a little boy, and the first time that photo hit the internet, everybody was totally outrageous, asking who abused that child so badly. That child is not abused. That child is in a situation where the only thing his mother has to give him is her love. There is no food. There is no proper shelter. That child looked that way because of malnutrition and because of cold exposure. It took about 2 months worth of medical costs medical fees, medicine, and good nourishment to get him into the little happy boy that he is today. They are still living in the squatter camp. They are still going hungry. But at least we are trying. And you must remember, if I say we, it is people, individuals. We cannot register an NGO and try and do it that way. Because government says, if I register an NGO, 9% of what the NGO brings in is allowed to be used for white assistance, because that is the proportion of white people in South Africa. I have started the fundraiser, and I can tell you what I do with the funds. I go, sometimes it is an elderly family, sometimes it is an old man and an old woman living alone, and somebody comes and tells me that these people haven't eaten for 3 days, or that their electricity has been cut. And what I do is I take the fund that I have, because I don't have money of my own to spend on that. I really don't. But I try and somehow always give and find resources. Then I would go there, I would pay the water and lights, I would make sure that there's food for a few days, and just pray to God that somebody else will come and help. Try and find their families, their children. And like in the case of that sick baby, you take the money you have that has been allocated to you by individuals that has given it out of the goodness of their heart. You take that money, you pay the doctor's bills, you pay the medicine, you make sure this baby has milk formula for 6 to 8 weeks, and you just have to move on. You can't stay there. There is too many people to help, firstly. Secondly, this is another reality about those people that live there, and it's a very sad reality. They have lost hope. Very few of them actually know how to do anything else but just wait and hope that somebody would bring them food. There is no way for them to find a job. Lots of these camps are situated far outside of community hubs, so like outside on farms and things. So there's no way for them to get to a place where they can find a job. Even if it is a car guard, they can't get there. And another reality, a lot of these camps are run by, I hesitate to call them Christian fanatics. These are pastors, self-proclaimed pastors, that own these people. They make them work out there wherever they are. They make them live under a certain amount of rules. A lot of these camp owners take all the donations that come in, firstly into their own houses, and from there on they give what they don't want to the people living there. The people don't complain because they have nowhere else to go. So what I basically do is, when I do work in the camps, I go directly to the people. I go directly to the children. I refuse to pass any donations through to camp owners. But in the same time, I must tell you, there's a lot of camp owners out there that is really, really trying their best, and they're really doing well for the people. So not all of them are taking this situation and trying to make money out of this. There's a lot of them out there that really try and help. But what I'm asking you today, and why I'm showing you this, is I can't do this alone anymore. And yes, there is maybe 20, 30, 100 individuals out there across South Africa that is doing exactly the same as what I'm doing. But even then, we are but trying to empty the sea with a teaspoon. We do need help. Of course we need financial assistance. Of course we need food for these people. Of course we need a long-term solution for this problem. But most of all, we